right. So tonight, 90s New York neo-noir with a 90s as fuck cast. Gary Oldman, the star, bloody, greedy, beaten the fuck down. Lena Olin, the femme fatale, bloody as well, sexy, psycho, seductive. It's got Juliette Lewis, Annabella Sciorra, Roy Schreider, Michael Wincott. You may not know who that is, but you've heard his voice, you've seen his face. Tonight, Rick, you recommended this film, 1993's Romeo is Bleeding.
You know, this is a movie that it has a reputation and it has a feeling I think the best that I can say about this film, and to be completely honest and to separate myself from what I want versus the reality, is that this is a much better film in theory than in execution. And as I watched it again the other night, I hadn't seen it in about, I don't know, a decade or so. What I found was it is a film that deserves a better director, because a better director would have set up a better tone, a more consistent tone that really embraced a 50s noir type of attitude with a dirty 70s sensibility to it. It's almost as if everything in this film is designed to go one step further than what early noir was capable of achieving because of the Hays Code. So you have a film that could really delve into the sexual aspect of noir, taking it to the limit. There's so much potential here. Gary Oldman giving a weird and kind of broken down performance, but exciting. And this is shortly before he would do Drexel in True Romance. So you have to think back to a time before Gary Oldman was a household name, before the Harry Potter films, before Air Force One, before he became Sir Gary Oldman, before he became the bar, which a lot of these young actors were set at in the 1990s. But I think the real sad loss is that this film, had it been handled a different way, could have been a platform for Lena Olin, who I think is incredible in this movie. I think she is fucking sexy, dangerous, enticing. Everything that happens surrounding her is believable in an unbelievable story because of her commitment to the violence, the sadism, and the narrow-minded kind of focus that the character has on achieving her goals. She should have been huge because of this film. This film should have catapulted her. And I think as a movie watching audience, we lost out because she never really had the opportunity to jumpstart a career in the way that it should have been used. I know she did The Unbearable Lightness of Being. She did a movie called, oh my God, it was called Enemies: A Love Story, which is kind of a semi-romantic comedy, kind of dramatic comic elements. I think she played a Holocaust survivor in New York, probably in the 50s. It makes me want to go and find it and watch it. And she did Sidney Lumet's Night Falls on Manhattan, I think.
Yeah.
Did you see that? So she's great.
Yeah.
And I think
you and I...
Go ahead, sorry.
Ninth Gate, by the late 90s.
Mm-hmm. She should have been bigger. And you and I talked about a year ago. I presented this idea to you about 3 women in films that I think should have had much bigger careers, much better careers, based on 3 movies that they did. The first one was Lena Olin in this film. The second was Linda Fiorentino in a movie called The Last Seduction, which hopefully we will get to and we will talk about soon. And the last one was Virginia Madsen in a Dennis Hopper directed film called The Hot Spot. All 3 of those neo-noir films, all 3 of them hypersexual, and with these 3 particular women demonstrating very captivating and dangerous sexual Black Widow-like characters, dangerous fucking women. And my question was, why weren't these women catapulted into stardom in the way they should have been? And at the end of the day, you know, there's so many different theories on whether they were divas or the failure of the films to grab audiences, or the old theory of men don't like strong women, which yes and no, and I'm interested in delving into something like that. So this being your first time seeing this film, right? You had never seen this film?
Yeah, this one got away from me.
Yeah, that's surprising, because this seems like something that you would have like pulled right out of the fucking video store. This seems like something that you would have known.
Yeah, like a little perverted fly on shit.
Yeah.
No, I'm not sure if, I don't think it was, I don't remember ever seeing it at one particular video store. It might have been at another one, but I don't remember. But I have an idea as to which one it would have been at, which would have been a little bit later when that one opened. And it's weird because it's before we even get into Lena Olin, because I really want to get into that question, because particularly like you have the 90s like erotic thriller VHS bullshit, and you have around the same time period you have Basic Instinct, and that catapulted Sharon Stone. So, but set that aside. This is right in the middle of Gary Oldman's, like you say, he's not established. He's not the Sir Gary Oldman, as you said. But this is right in the middle of the run that's going to make him.
Yeah, it is.
Into that. He had done Sid and Nancy, where he plays Sid Vicious. That's mid-'80s. He had done State of Grace, which we've done an episode on that, which is a Sean Penn, Ed Harris, little Hell's Kitchen, Irish Mob movie. He had done Henry and June.
He was in Henry and June?
Yeah.
What was he in Henry and June?
I think he has a supporting role.
Wow, I'm going to have to go back to that. Okay.
I saw it once after you had recommended it. This is a few years back, because I slipped through that one too. And he was in JFK as Oswald.
Yeah.
That's early 90s. Then you get Bram Stoker's Dracula, so he's the guy there. He's in this film. He's in True Romance. Would you mention, what's the character's name?
In Drexel. Yeah, the white pimp. Incredible performance. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the highlights of that film. It's basically him, Hopper, and Walker as these planets, you know? He's in The Professional. So I rented fucking. I would have had to have gone, and I was too young. I mean, it was far for me to go way the fuck out because a lot of these movies weren't getting shown where I live.
Yeah.
So it was about renting them. Certain movies I would have to go out a little bit further. Certain shit they would show, certain things they wouldn't. Bram Stoker's Dracula they showed.
Yeah.
Leon, it wasn't shown, but I rented that. I rented True Romance. I rented Immortal Beloved, where he plays Beethoven.
Mm-hmm.
He's in Basquiat. He's in The Fifth Element. Like, all these performances that are like, oh shit, Gary Oldman is one of the greatest actors of the fucking decade. And for some reason, this is one of those ones that I don't hear people really talking about it. I fucking missed it. You talk about it,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know why it's on multiple levels. I think this thing that you're saying, perhaps the director, it just didn't it didn't make it over. It didn't make it out of its own neighborhood. You know what I mean?
It's weird because it didn't. It doesn't catch like a great film, like a great noir. And the thing about noir is B movie kind of shit. It's like lurid, it's pulpy, it's like nasty little stories that can really wallow in their own filth. So they don't have the same noirs don't have the elevated respectability of your classical dramatic films, like prestige pictures, you know. It's hard for me to come up with anything that's respectable. Noir is dirty, it's ugly, it's basically films that center around dangerous women and loser men. And I think because of that, they're usually shit on because they're so pessimistic and cynical, and they're not respected in such a way as films that are making a point about the human experience, or something that is really embraced as a story of personal growth. Noirs don't do that. And if you watch this film, there is no positive growth in this film and an evolution of a character in such a way that redemption is possible. In fact, the lead character loses everything and goes crazy to a degree. But what's really interesting about it is the depths of perversion that he allows himself to be overwhelmed by, both with greed for financial gain, but also this sexual desire to whore it up with both a wife, a mistress, and now this character played by Lena Olin, who is just fucking, I mean, you see this woman and you understand, turn the other way, but it would be very difficult to turn away from a Lena Olin. I don't know of any man who could look at that woman and say, yeah, I'm not willing to give everything up. I'd be willing to give everything up for her in this film. That she is so fucking captivating and sexy and dangerous that it's I understand Dancing with the Devil in this film. This one makes sense to me. That's why it breaks my heart that the film is not better than it is, because both of these actors are so fucking good in it.
Yeah. I mean, and if you look at her in The Ninth Gate,
yeah,
there are elements of what she brings to this, to that. It's similar in that she's this femme fatale, dark, evil character. But you see her in Chocolat, she's like beaten down, softer. She's a little bit more in the Unbearable Lightness of Being. She's a little bit more a little bit. She still has that because that's her. She still has that dark shit, but like there's a little bit more, I guess, like a softer, maybe more whimsical element to it. But going back to what we were saying before, 92, 93 is Basic Instinct. That fucking hits. And as a matter of fact, there's a moment in this film where she uncrosses her legs in front of Gary Oldman's character, and it's not directed. That famous moment in Basic Instinct is directed comedically. Well, I mean, the actors' takes on it are funny, but at the same time, you're going, "What the fuck?" Because it's a police interrogation, and that moment in Basic Instinct is iconic at this point. I mean, it was iconic from the beginning because that's what people were talking about.
Yeah.
And I wonder why Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct and why not Lena Olin in this? Some of those things is just kind of, but I'm curious as to your speculation. Like, what is it? The direction?
Well, I think the failure in this film, I mean, she's I think she was too much for most audiences to handle. I think she's too dangerous. I mean, Sharon Stone, there's a likability to Sharon Stone. There's a certain level of
blonde.
What's that?
Is it because Sharon Stone's blonde?
Maybe that would definitely have something to do with it. I think there's no. It's almost like Sharon Stone is aware of the role that she's playing and the history of female femme fatales in noir. What's that?
And she's great, and the Catherine Trammell character, I think, is a great villain also.
Yeah, she is. And you know, as much as I don't like the film, I think she's great in it. And it would lay the framework for other exceptional work that she would do, culminating with the best thing she ever did, which was Casino. As far as I'm concerned, you might think Basic Instinct, but I feel Casino for obvious prejudices that I have. But with this, I think what sets Lena Olin apart is that she really seems like she's capable. She seems like this woman. Lena Olin seems like a dangerous woman, and I don't think people, especially, I never liked that whole, "Oh, he's afraid of strong women" statement, because it's too obvious and dismissive. But if there's ever been a woman that you should be afraid of because of her power and her indifference to your feelings, Lena Olin would be it. Lena Olin she's probably a very nice person in, to meet her one-on-one. But when you watch her in this film, you don't, in a weird way, I don't feel like she's acting. I feel like she's capable of this. She is a fucking evil woman, and it's evil in a way that it's exciting. She's like a lot like when I first saw Joan Jett, I was like, what the fuck is this? I was instantly attracted and frightened. Yeah, that's what it is. It's like you're attracted and you're frightened of this woman, because every man believes that there is a woman out there like this that can destroy their world. And we're not only susceptible to it, but we would knowingly and willingly go into it with an understanding that she is going to destroy us. That might be, I think Lena Olin might be too real for audiences.
No, what you're describing, there's something like mythological about
it's a good way of describing it. Yeah,
that goes to the archetype of a femme fatale, but it goes beyond that. It goes to our sense of horror when it comes to like female characters, or Black Widow, Spider, and all of that symbolism. It goes to vampires and fucking witches and seductress, she devils and she wolves, and like all this like psychological, mythological shit that mermaids and as the siren that fucking guy like the siren would you would be unable to resist.
Mm-hmm.
And they would call you and you would have to pursue that call, and then you would run into the fucking rocks and be like smashed. And I think it's Odysseus, and that Hollywood as fuck movie is coming out soon. Anyway, I think it's him that he tells his men to tie him to
the mast, right?
To the mast.
Yeah.
Because Odysseus himself, or Ulysses, depending on what translation or what tradition, the Roman version or the original version or the Greek version, he would be unable to resist. So you tie my ass down. And for a movie watching culture, I mean, maybe there's probably something to that. When we think about Sharon Stone as this villain, it's like, okay, there's still a way for us to objectify her somehow. Maybe it's there's this tenderness thing. Maybe she's such a villain that it's like, okay, it becomes almost like the Catwoman in Batman Returns, which itself channels a dominatrix. But if you tell recently an actual dominatrix gave Leslie and I her book, and if you were to say, oh yeah, like this, we're not like that close yet or whatever, but if it was like, oh yeah, my friend is a dominatrix, people would be like, it elicits all of these things. Not very many people are going to be like, you have to be a certain type of open-minded, alternative kind of person to be like, oh shit, that's fucking cool. I'm sure she has cool stories. And those of us are out there that, you know who you are listening to this podcast. It's like, oh, that's fucking super fascinating. You're listening to us, you're probably more along those lines. But most people out there, most of these like straight edge motherfuckers are going to be like, oh, that's fucking weird, or that's scary, or that's deviant, or whatever the fuck it is. Maybe Lena Olin laughing while she's fucking getting her ass kicked and kicking ass at the same time, like, maybe it's too much of that versus like there's no way to objectify her because she's objectifying you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but I think there's something around that. And I think there's. Did you ever see the movie Sliver? It was a.
It was a
It
Joel
was
Silver
another
film,
erotic-
right?
Huh?
It was a Joel Silver with Sharon Stone
With
and
Sharon Stone.
yeah,
And one
who
of
was the
the.
actor? Was it one of the Baldwins?
It was one of the Baldwins, and what's his name is in it too. He plays Sergeant Barnes in Platoon. What's his name? Tom Berenger.
Oh, Berenger, yeah.
Um, that didn't fucking hit, and that was just a like kind of trying to ride. It seemed to me on the coattails of Basic Instinct by bringing back the same, the same actor.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it might have been
Sharon
the same
Stone.
screenwriter as well.
She ultimately did Basic Instinct 2, which was like probably fucking straight to video. And if it wasn't, it felt like it was. So, I mean, for whatever reason, culturally, it was like you get those moments where you get the mainstream kind of whatever it is version of whatever we're talking about, and then you get the dark one, you know?
Yeah.
Of sexual femme fatales, I guess you could say that fucking like Basic Instinct is like the ET, and Lena Olin is
The Thing.
you know. And I mean, on top of that, Juliette Lewis herself, a symbol on 90s. I mean, a lot of this stuff, maybe, we can look at it retrospectively, but if we do look at it retrospectively, Juliette Lewis is a symbol of 90s sexuality, kind of 90s teen, like dark, fucked up teen sexuality. Fucking Cape Fear.
Yeah.
She was on a run. Gilbert Grape.
Well, you know what's
California
crazy?
with a K.
Romeo is Bleeding is 93. Cape Fear is what, 95?
90. No, it's like, isn't it earlier than that?
Is it? I don't
No,
know.
it was like 90.
I want to think that it came before this, but at the same time, I'm thinking, I don't know if it did. Because I know she had
91.
been around doing weird shit here and there, but like, she wasn't the star that, okay, so yeah, 91. So Cape Fear, I can never remember if Cape Fear came out before Casino or Casino was before Cape Fear, but it should be easy because Casino was the last film that De Niro and Scorsese did together before The Irishman.
Right.
So, yeah. Okay. So Cape Fear is 91 and she's like, I think she's playing 15 in the movie, but she's like either 16 or 17 in the movie. When she made it, she was like 16 or 17, which would have put her at around 19 for this, which she's playing exactly what you say in that teenage femme fatale, not femme fatale, but teenage Lolita-esque.
Right. And she hasn't hit yet.
She hasn't
hit yet. Because this is right before she does Not Born Killers. So she hasn't hit yet. But she was in a movie called California with a K, with Brad Pitt and David Duchovny.
Yeah.
Where she plays similar kind of character.
Yeah.
She's gonna do Natural Born Killers. She's gonna do Strange Days.
Yeah.
With Michael Wincott. She's gonna do Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
So she's gonna hit, but like this is another one of those ones that's kind of like under the fucking radar. Even like I don't know if it's under the radar because I mean she was already exposed, so to speak, in Cape Fear. But this is kind of like a lull before she fucking hits. But fucking Michael Wincott too, he would never hit. But if you watched 90s movies, you knew the voice,
Yeah.
and you knew the guy. You knew he's in The Doors, he's in fucking Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, he's in The Crow. I mean, this is right before The Crow too, but he's gonna be in Strange Days as the villain. He's in Dead Man. He's in Basquiat. He's the main fucking captain in Alien 4. So like this is a cast that's very emblematic. I mean, look at Annabella Sciorra, Jungle Fever. She's gonna do Copland. She's gonna do The Addiction.
Yeah. She's gonna do The Sopranos. She was a name. She was,
or at least a face.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And so this is like fucking hidden gem shit, and it's got all these elements. It's got Roy Schreider as a mob guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's just interesting to me that you can have all of these parts. I mean, and I haven't even just like spoken about, I guess, my take on the film itself. It's just the aspect of why it didn't. Not that I expected it to, or that having seen it, I expected that it should have taken off. But it is one of those that it's like, oh, that's interesting. It's. I feel like there are even like, let's say like Tarantino. There are lesser known Tarantino movies that are still more well known than this. And I think this should at least be on the same level of like, okay, well, people know about Jackie Brown, you know?
Yeah.
This shit is more along the lines of like Four Rooms, like which fucking people don't talk about.
Sure.
And I think it's a shame. Who would you have wanted to direct this in order to give it whatever noir, get into the noir element, and how did this hit or how did it miss?
Well, I think it doesn't. It's not readily apparent, but there's a little bit of a comic tone to it that I think is. It's not a dark enough comedy. It doesn't take itself serious. It doesn't embrace the ugliness that this film is. This is a much uglier film on paper, and it should have been. It should have been a darker, even
more sexual.
Yeah, they should have hyped it up. I mean,
I don't think it goes nearly as much as it could have. And now I'm cutting in, but like, if this is gonna be a fucking what's the one with William Holden? Didn't he? What is that? Body Heat? What is that?
Oh, that's not William Holden. William Hurt.
William Hurt.
Kathleen William Turner. That's Body Heat. Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah.
Maybe Kasdan at that point, but I think it would have been better with oh shit, who? If this could have been a good, and I don't like Adrian Lyne, but based on what he did with Jacob's Ladder, I think he could have done a better job with this. But he's still not the director I would have chosen for. I would have wanted more of that sensibility, like an Adrian Lyne sexualized, not quite as heavily sexual as 9.5 Weeks, but the darkness of Adrian Lyne.
Yeah. I mean, Fatal Attraction, fucking 9.5 Weeks, Indecent Proposal, Lolita. You know what I mean? Like, I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Lumet could have done wonders with this. And he never really did a noir. This could have been one of the outliers for him on that man had a certain level of darkness to him that I don't think it wasn't explored in this way. I would have liked to see his take on that kind of material. But it being outside of what he would normally do. Who else? God damn. Shit. I can't think. I mean, who can you imagine? I mean, like who was coming like in the 90s. Let's see, this was right before Paul Thomas Anderson.
Ferreira.
Who else?
For Abel Ferreira.
No, it would have been too dark for an Abel Ferreira. It would have been Abel Ferreira would have taken it way too far. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can't. Right. There's a balance, and I think he would have done. I think he would have asked too much of Lena Olin. But Lena Olin is up for so much in this film. But like there's one aspect of it where the arm thing in this movie, I feel, is taking it too far narratively. But if there is a what the fuck moment, and it is designed to, you like that? I thought it was cool in the sense of this bitch is crazy, and this is how dedicated she is. What's that?
She rocked that fucking prosthetic arm.
Oh, she's unbelievable with that thing.
Yeah. And it just made her more fucking villainous, and I didn't think it took away. Like, I thought she was even more sexy with it.
I thought it. No, what I thought it did, I didn't think it took away. It removed the realism, because up until that point, it was dark and realistic, but it was a leap that you have to. It doesn't work for me narratively, but it works for me character-wise, if that makes sense, because you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, that's one of those things where you're like, oh, well, this bitch is crazy. What are you going to do? And I had fun with it. But, goddamn, who else could have... a less tongue-in-cheek and action-oriented Rodriguez could have done something with this. I think... Based on like but what I'm talking about, see, I don't know of a director of that, because when I mentioned Rodriguez, I would be taking away a lot of the comic elements of what he did and go not as deep as Sin City, but more along those lines of that kind of depravity and sickness, you know? I mean, Sin City is a really interesting film because it goes in that direction, and it's I guess by virtue of it being a graphic novel that is presented as a graphic novel on screen, it works. This is not that, but you know, I'm snowballing ideas because I can't Well, I can't really come up with something, you know?
Because for something like this, I think you need the balance of kind of like the erotic thriller element of like almost like the Zalman King. Like,
you know, I was thinking of just that guy because he was a staple. When you mentioned you started to mention like shitty Cinemax type erotic thrillers. This is kind of that, but done much better.
What's I'm blanking on Gene Simmons' wife. What's her name?
Shannon Tweed.
Shannon Tweed, like that type of shit. I mean, I think it would need some of that mixed with something a little bit, obviously, to be able to handle like a better cast. Mm-hmm. More production value with the sensibilities of a noir, of a neo-noir.
Sure.
Like, and I'm mixing. I'm saying like elements of like someone who can really do a good job with the neo-noir kind of mood is someone like a David Lynch.
But then it becomes more nightmarish than anything.
Well, that's what I'm mixing. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm just taking elements of like someone who could add that, and someone who could have this. Go ahead.
No, that's the same thing that I was thinking with Rodriguez. I wasn't thinking Rodriguez as a filmmaker who could have done this. I was thinking of along the same lines that you're thinking with Lynch. The elements that would have been right. You know who would have been good? Catherine Bigelow.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, and then she would have fucking really it would have been a tougher movie. Mm-hmm. I was thinking maybe Friedkin.
Oh, Friedkin. What do you think about De Palma? Do you think De Palma could have pulled this off? Or it would have been too self-referential and too... I don't know.
the thing about
Playing this fucking
Palma
game.
is like, I mean, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
The reason why I think Friedkin could have, I think he probably learned from his mistakes of cruising.
Yeah. But if you listen to interviews, he learned nothing from the mistakes of cruising. But go ahead.
Well, he's like, I don't give a flying fuck to a rolling donut about what Al Pacino thinks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's funny, but yeah. I think had Friedkin done this, he wouldn't have fucked up by doing Jake.
Yeah.
He would have had something else.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, yeah, Friedkin. Who did you say? Oh, De Palma. De Palma. I think the problem with De Palma would have been that he would have turned all his efforts on fetishizing Lena Olin in a way that diminished her.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he'd have her fucking rolling naked down a spiral staircase and all this Hitchcock shit. And I like Brian De Palma, but I think Brian De Palma, I think we need a different kind of pervert for this. I mean, and this would have been kind of like a good, like, if you put James Spader in this movie, and I don't even know where, but I'm just saying, like, just the vibe, you know what I mean? Like, it would become this much more sexualized film. So I don't know who did you ever see the Mickey Rourke film where he's in Chinatown? He's a cop.
Oh God, no, not Cimino.
Oh, that was Cimino.
That was
Cimino.
Yeah,
never mind.
You're the Dragon.
Yeah.
The guy, James Foley, the guy that did Close Range, a film that I didn't. Another film with great performances, but a film that doesn't get it across the finish line. But there would have been a darker sensibility. There was more of a commitment to the darkness in that film than this. I think that's the problem with this film, is that it's trying to be too funny in moments, and it's not laugh out loud joke, but there's not a commitment to the darkness of it. I think it's just missing. It's almost like if Spielberg had actually directed Cape Fear the way it was originally intended. You just don't see it working. You know what I mean? They're like there's not a darkness. There's not a sensibility that embraces that world, that darkness, to put it over. I've watched this movie a couple of times and I can't figure out exactly what it is it's missing. It's a matter of tone. There's something about it's not as pessimistic and cynical as this needs to be. And I get that every genre has to be played with and reimagined in order to find something new. But you also fail in a lot of respects to do that. You know what I mean?
I got it.
Who?
I have the answer.
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
Paul Schrader.
Yeah. Paul Schrader is fucked up enough to have made this exceptional. Yeah, you're right.
He would have done the screenplay and he would have fucking directed it.
Yeah. And it would have been probably great. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about Schrader. Yeah.
It would have the style.
Mm-hmm.
Because what year is Mishima?
Mishima is let me see. God damn. That is 1985.
Okay, so then this would have been right before Affliction. What was the movie before Affliction?
Let me see. Like, Affliction was what, 93, 94?
96, maybe?
Mm-hmm. No, 97. 97, so what the hell did he do before that? 97. Was it 90? Wait a minute. Yeah, Affliction was 97. He did Light Sleeper in 92. He did
What's that? Is that Willem Dafoe?
Willem Dafoe. Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Light Sleeper? It's really disappointing.
Oh,
I thought it was disappointing.
Oh.
I don't know.
We're gonna pretend that you would have made this instead of that.
Yeah.
And this would have. I think he would have handled the material because he understands and he knows noir.
Yeah, he does.
He's an expert on noir.
Mm-hmm.
So, because didn't he literally write a book on it?
Yeah, he did he wrote an article. A serious article. It's like 30 or 40 pages. It's like, that's considered one of the earliest, it's considered one of the earliest critical examinations of the genre outside of the European French take on it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's someone who has this fucking deep understanding of noir.
Well, think about it. Affliction, Autofocus, Hardcore.
Yeah.
These
exactly.
are movies. Yeah. This is, you're absolutely right. That he would have been the best director for this film. I honestly, yeah.
American Gigolo, which is like a little bit lighter, but like still, yes. I mean, this guy fucking wrote Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
So to have had he done that in our fucking fantasy or whatever, he would have been able to really, I think, elevate the material, and I think the cast would have really lined up behind him, and I think it would have gone further. I think there would have been, yeah, because I feel like now that I'm thinking about it, what's his name? I think is Roy Schreider is like underused.
Yeah.
And it's too. There's something about it that I don't take seriously. It's exactly what you're saying. The tone is off when it comes to him. And I mean, this has the window dressing, or I guess the blinds in this case, of it's a noir of a noir. It has the voiceover. It has the cop on the take, the femme fatale, double crossing, the murder, greed, sex. In the beginning, when you're in he's at that dusty fucking town or whatever, it feels like, and the saxophone music, it feels like, when I started watching, I was like, oh shit, I just fucking put in some erotic thriller VHS, tape into the fucking VCR, and is it gonna be the guy working behind the bar and a fucking chick walks in, or is she working behind the bar and a guy walks in? And one of them is on the run, and you know what I mean? Like, it's just the formula.
Yeah.
And how do they do the formula? Considering what it was, I did think that there were a lot of scenes in there. It seemed like there were a ton of scenes in the film.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like, I get it. So I really didn't think it picked up until Lena Olin really gets deep into the film. Then it like picks up the pace, and she's kind of the thing. And all her scenes are fucking good, but I feel like they could have gone further. The sexuality could have been more. Yeah, but I'm glad I saw it, and I'm surprised that it slipped through.
It's amazing the number of films that just slip through. You're gonna feel that. I think I can't promise you, but I think you're gonna feel the same way about The Last Seduction. And there are gonna be moments in The Hot Spot that you're gonna feel the same way. I don't think you've seen either of those two films, right?
I haven't seen any of those films.
Okay, The Last Seduction is really gonna. I think I'd be really surprised if you're not knocked on your ass by it, because that is a great performance in an exceptional film. And it's directed by a guy named John Dahl, who did he did Rounders, which is probably the thing he's best known for. But along the lines of this film, along the lines of Romeo is Bleeding, he did The Last Seduction, and he did a movie called Red Rock West with Nicolas Cage and I think Dennis Hopper. That's another noir about a loser that's driving through a city. If you want to know a film that embraces noir, is almost like a parody of it, but the tone is correct, Red Rock is that film. Kill Me Again, he did that with Val Kilmer and Joanne Whaley Kilmer at the time. That's an exceptional film. And all of that comes out of what we haven't mentioned up until this point, which at some point we're going to have to get into, is the underground power of the Coen brothers' first film, Blood Simple, which is an exceptional noir that gets it. The Coen brothers might have been able to do this based on that film. But I think your choice of Paul Schrader is the absolute best. That would have been my dream film, to see. You pointed out something that I didn't see at first, and now that I see it, I'm just like, I'm pissed off that I never got that. I really am. I'm just that's the kind of shit that gets on my fucking nerves, and it breaks my heart, because it's one thing to watch a bad movie. It's another thing to watch a movie that in every way possible could have been better than what it actually is. And that's what Romeo is Bleeding. I watch Romeo is Bleeding now because I love the performances. I love Gary Oldman in it. Annabella Sciorra does a good job with that wife character that she has. Juliette Lewis is playing Juliette Lewis, and I love her for it. But what it really comes down to is Lena Olin. And I think she deserved a better film. And you could say that about a lot of performances, but I don't think there's not a film that I can name, that I can think of, that comes immediately to mind that says that more loudly than this one. She deserved a hell of a lot better than this.
Yeah. I mean, that's for sure. Even to me, I really like Michael Wincott and everything he does, and he's another one that he's. I wish he would have gotten more opportunities.
Yeah, but the thing with Michael Wincott is he got a lot of opportunities, and he's always good in the shit that he comes out in. And he always, there's a police movie, there's a cop movie called Metro with Eddie Murphy, where Eddie Murphy was trying to do less comedy and more. Wincott is the best thing about it. Wincott is great in it. I don't know if he's not a serial killer, but he's a guy that's doing some crazy shit in San Francisco, and he elevates the material. And the thing about a guy like that is, I hate to say it, but if he had been given too much and you had seen too much of him, it would have diluted it. So I think Michael Wincott shows up when he needs to show up, and he kills it in that way, in much the same way that Warren Oates did in the 60s and 70s, Harry Dean Stanton did throughout his career, Strother Martin. There's something about that.
Sorry, there's something. I'll hold my thought.
No, I'm
something about.
But Harry Dean, what that
He got Paris, Texas.
Yeah, he did.
He got Paris, Texas. Fucking Willem Dafoe has gotten shots because Willem Dafoe could have been Michael Wincott.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But Willem Dafoe has gotten his shots.
He has, but at the same time, how many films that Willem Dafoe? How many times has Willem Dafoe headlined where the film was? I mean, Light Sleeper, which I don't. Which one?
Like something that became a popular film, you mean? Like a well-known fucking film?
Yeah, that is embraced in that sense. I mean, there are some people that don't have the ability to carry a film in that way, but are doing exceptional work. When you watch him you watch him in The Last Temptation of Christ, it's like, I can't imagine anybody else doing it.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's the fucking in that, and that's a fucking that's a big budget film.
Well, that's more of a passion. That's more of a, I mean, because it wasn't a big budget film. I mean,
that's a big fucking Hollywood film. I mean, like, maybe it's not a fucking blockbuster level fucking, but it's a big film. It's not fucking, it's not able for our.
No, it's not some under the radar film. I mean, it only got made because Scorsese had the cachet at that time to do it. And they knew that if they wanted to keep Scorsese in their stables, they were going to have to do this passion project of his. But that's not a film that did well at the box office. It's a film that has a reputation now. It's like when the director Elaine May talks about Ishtar. She says, if the number of people who say how bad it was, if they actually paid to see it, the movie would have made money. I don't think the majority of people have seen The Last Temptation of Christ.
Fair enough. But what I'm getting at, well, I guess my point is that it's like the idea of being able to get a chance to
yes,
to be
you're right.
And regardless of, I mean, that's the biggest one for Willem Dafoe. He's the lead in
he's in the lead in Antichrist.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking about, In the Woods. Yeah, that one. A couple other movies. Other than that, he's either the villain or he's part of the supporting cast. Or I just personally wish that Michael Wincott. And maybe there is something that some super low budget shit that fucking I don't even know about. But it's kind of like, you know, there are people like that, like Michael Madsen in his prime, in his 90s prime.
Yeah.
Where you just go like, damn, like what would it have been if they do more? And that's all riding on the idea of Lena Olin. Now, Silence of the Lambs, Anthony Hopkins comes out in fucking, I don't know, like however many minutes, which is a fraction of the running time of the film.
Something like 15, 16 minutes maybe.
But it's better for that because you're kind of like, and I get it because it's like, these other ensemble people, to include in this film that tall guy, he's the older tall guy who's in fucking everything, and he's in like I think he's in fucking Independence Day and all these other fucking movies. He's he's one of the cops, and when Gary Oldman, spoiler alert, he fucking shoots Lena Olin, and he's like, "Oh, good job," or whatever the fuck. Like that guy, you know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I know one of those cops. There's David Proval, the Scorsese and the Sopranos staple. God damn it, There's the big one he does a lot. I think he might have been in Bad Lieutenant, or I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
He's tall and he's like
James Cromwell.
James Cromwell. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
He like those guys that it takes you 5 minutes going back and forth in a podcast with your friend trying to figure out like who is that, but you know who he is. It's those guys, and Michael Wincott is one of those guys. Those guys keep the house up.
Yeah,
they're the pillars that keep these things going.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, damn, like going back to this shit, Lena Olin, like what could have been.
Yeah.
And who the fuck knows? But it's one of those that it's like, man, I'm glad I saw this though, because this is a performance. And I already thought she was the shit just from other shit that I've seen with, three movies, let's say, that I've seen her in. And she blows everything else away in this film.
It's the sin of Hollywood. It really is. Hollywood has no idea what to do with something that is, they'll take gold and turn it into shit. It's unbelievable how they can fuck something up so badly. Because this woman should have been huge. She should have been Garbo. She should have been Barbara Stanwyck. She should have been, she should have ushered in a new sensibility of dangerous women on screen. And maybe that's the problem, is that she's too dangerous. She's too intimidating. I don't know. I hate that idea of, people are afraid of a strong woman, because it's just, it's so simplistic, I think. But if there's ever been a case where people are afraid of a strong woman, that's Lena Olin. Lena Olin would scare the shit out of you. She is that powerful. I would love to. I don't know how many films she's done, but I'm looking forward to seeing her more in a handful of the films that I've missed. But it's never going to be like this. She's just incredible in this movie.
Yeah, I'm glad you took this off the shelf.
Yeah.
Wiped the dust off, because it's. I feel like I went back in time, but it's cool because it's like there's we do this all the time where we go back in time and fucking revisit shit and be like, what's the relationship to this film and blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, what's the relationship to this film? Oh, I just fucking saw it.
Yeah.
And fucking Lena Olin is the shit. And it's that the B-side of Gary Oldman's run, where you get a flash, that scream, that fucking animalistic scream that he lets out after he shoots her. There's a moment where it's like, oh shit, that's Gary Oldman. I mean, he plays it so subtly throughout, because in these other films that he had done in Leon, he's fucking out there. He's big. In a lot of these other films. In JFK, he fucking channels. Not only does he look, but it looks like you're looking at a version of the footage of Oswald.
Oh, it's scary how much Oswald he is in that film. That one's really scary.
So for this, it was just like, oh well, it's like watching a Meryl Streep performance where you're just like, well, that's just a person.
Yeah.
It's like there is no performance. That's just a person behaving. But Lena Olin brought some shit out of him too.
Yeah, she did. She
brought some shit out of him. So, here's to you, Miss Lena Olin. Till next time, Miss Lena Olin. I hope there is one. That's the episode. buymeacoffee.com/watchRickRamos. buymeacoffee.com/watchRickRamos. If you want to support us, Several people do. They're the fucking ride or dies. This week it goes to Mr. Landberg. Thank you for being a member. Thanks for riding with us, for listening, taking the fucking time train backwards and forwards all these fucking years. Lena Olin, Romeo is bleeding. Check it out. Till next time.